Welcome to the season one finale, everyone, of the Unaware podcast.
Yeah,
that
we
is
made
crazy. We've made it this far. Man, that's awesome.
I know, dude. I can't believe we made it.
I know, dude. Well, anyway, welcome to the Unaware podcast, season one finale. It is the show where we just talk about the idea that it's okay to be unaware, that it's okay just to go and chase your dreams and try new things.
Yeah, it is.
But as always, it's your hosts, Andrew Ludy.
Hello, world, and all who inhabit it. It's your boy, Paul Canner.
I think this is a poetry one. Well,
I just thought of that, like, off the top of my head, dude.
well, you have to get good at it at this point. It's season finale. So,
I know. It had to be a good one for the season finale.
facts. Well, today we're going to jump right into it. We are looking back on season one, kind of talking about our favorite episodes, teasing a little bit of what we plan for season two. We're excited for it, planning, all the deets. And
Dude,
then
I'm so excited for season 2.
It's going to be good, man. It's going to be exciting.
We got a lot of big things up our sleeves.
Yeah, well, I see what you did there. You'll understand that inside joke in a hot sec. And then I think we'll talk about what Project Unaware really means to us. We've talked a lot about what it means, but not really personally ever. And so I kind of just want to get real, get raw for a moment, and talk about what it means to us. And then we have one more announcement that I will not say now at the end, but we're also pretty excited about that too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we are.
Yeah. On a scale from 1 to 10, Paul, how excited are you?
Dude, I'm at like an 11 right now.
Dang. Really?
Yeah.
Getting amped.
I'm freaking amped, dude.
Well, I mean, looking back at season one, it's been a long journey to get here.
Yeah, it has.
It's already December, and
dude, I remember talking about this. What was it? April?
March.
March.
Yeah, I called you in March.
Yeah, you called me in March, and you're like, "This is happening," and I was like, "Dude, that's awesome."
Yeah.
I would, if you want to co-host, like I am available. And then here we are.
And I said, you know what? I do want to co-host, Paul.
Here we are in December, and
Mm-hmm.
dude, it's December. This year has flown by. Do you feel that too?
Yeah. I mean, this is a bit of a rabbit hole, but I kind of talked a lot about this with you and a couple other friends, that it's just because at this point in our life, there is always something to look ahead to, right?
Mhm.
So, all right, I have this on this weekend. I have this Wednesday. And so you're constantly just going to those big moments, and everything in between
Yeah.
flies by.
Yeah, I agree.
So you almost got to be cognizant of that, because time is precious. We talk about that. You can't waste your time. You got to go unaware and chase those dreams. You can't keep putting it off till tomorrow,
Right.
because there might not be a tomorrow, which we have talked a lot about in season one,
Yeah.
which it already feels like crazy that we're at episode 11. There have been 10 of
Where
these.
did the time go, dude?
I don't know, man, but it's been exciting. So, let me ask you, what has been your favorite episode we've put out so far? And then I'll even double whammy is, how has your life changed since starting this?
Oh, hands down, I think my favorite episode was, what was it titled? The past and how it impacts us.
Snap.
Yeah,
I might have
I
to
love
agree.
that episode, dude. It's my favorite episode because I think we just get like super raw and vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not easy to talk about the past, especially like if you had a really crappy past.
Yeah.
And it's the nostalgia too. I think that's kind of what does it for me. Like, looking back, you remember all the times that you had with your family, with your friends growing up, and figuring out who you're actually going to be when you're older. It was just such a great episode.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love talking to you about things that I know you don't talk about like on a normal basis.
Yeah, Micah, he brought that up. He's like, bro, I think that's the most I've ever heard you talk about that ever. And I'm like, it's because it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to piggyback off that, but I think I have to agree.
Was
it
that
was just
episode 7?
I was sick in it too. I had a cold, so you can hear it in my voice, which was funny. But it ended up being, it just such a real episode. Like you said, it raw. It was our hearts out on there, and
very vulnerable.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people got a lot out of it, so that's also exciting because at the end of the day, this is a project to help people, and whether that's to help people think about something differently, help them get through something emotionally, and that I think did. So it was really cool to see the value from our sides, but also how it impacted other people.
Yeah.
So I have to agree.
Dude, it was the best episode.
Not saying all the other ones are bad, but that one
that
one had a little extra spice.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to choose a second favorite episode, that's really hard because I don't.
They were all.
I don't really have.
I like the last one we did, Benefits Unaware.
That one was good, yeah.
But so we're
See, like if we had to pick a second one, it's hard because that one just stood out. That one just stood out to me. It always has since we recorded it.
Yeah. Well, how has your life changed since tagging along, coming in and helping me out with Project Unaware?
My life has changed pretty drastically. I think I go through life thinking like we talk about on this podcast more than I have in the past.
Yeah.
Where before I wouldn't say yes to doing some of the things that I've done since we started this.
Mm-hmm.
But it just kind of made it easier because I talk about it. We talk about it on here.
Yeah.
So why not actually act on it and do the things we talk about? So that's been great. I think I found like a new love for writing with the blog. I've written 2 of the blog posts.
Shout out to the Unaware blog. Go check it out if you haven't.
Check out the Unaware blog. Writing has not been something that I've done a lot. I mean, there was a time when like I would write poems, but I would only write them for myself, which is fine. But to put like actual work out there, like my last blog was pretty much a poem, like a free verse poem.
Yeah.
I don't show anyone my poems. Sometimes they're really dark and I don't want to show people, but just getting my voice out there, it's kind of special to me. Just other people hearing what I have to say and taking it to heart if they relate to it,
Yeah. I mean, I think that shows a lot with the last one you did. I felt it. I'm sure a lot of people did too. I do like the blog aspect too, just because it's. I mean, I wanted it to be an area where you could just create and not worry about anything else. Right? I wanted it to be that avenue just to write how you're feeling, what you're thinking, what your dreams are, and just write.
Yeah.
I was never under the impression that it was going to be perfect. Right? In the first blog post, I said this is going to be chaotic.
Yeah.
And it has been. Every blog has been wildly different. But that makes me smile. Like, I'm so proud of that fact that it turned into something where, you and I and even our friends can write and have something there that's like, I did that. It ignites something in them.
Yeah. Like it doesn't feel like a school assignment. Like when you have to write something for school, it feels like you're creating something. Like
I would say
while
it's because of the fact that you get to write what you want to write about.
Yeah.
There is no deadline. There is no content you have to match. There's no
Which I
whether
love.
it's long form, short form, but heck, it could be 3 lines.
It could be, yeah.
I am not gonna be, I go through and make sure there's spelling correct. That's the only editing type thing I do, is I just make sure that this word isn't not what it's meant to be.
This word's not supposed to be here. It should be down here. I don't know how it even got down here.
Besides that, it's like I don't edit it, just because I don't want to put a hold on people's creativity.
I love that.
and their identity, you know. Yeah. So it brings me joy to hear that the blog has helped you out.
I love the vlog.
So yeah, listeners, if you guys haven't had a chance to check out the blog,
Do it, please. There is some good stuff on there.
Yeah. People talking about going to new places, a little bit of depression notes in there, chaos, traveling, dreaming,
Jobs.
job stuff. Yeah. And it's only going to continue to grow, which is so cool because it just stays there, and it's
just
this
there
little
forever.
time capsule of the past. So, I think for me, how my life has changed with Project Unaware is just this thing inside my head is like, oh crap, I actually did it.
Yeah.
Like I had been writing about this and researching this, and there's just always this desire deep down to create something that was my own. And I've done that at times in my life with photography and videography and even writing, but never to the point where it's something that was fully me.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a lot of help to get here, but we got here, and it just shows, because right now we're sitting at season finales, episode 11 of the podcast, with probably like 9 blogs on a website. That's so much, you know, and it would have been so easy to quit after episode 4, episode 2, episode 9, blog 4. At any one of those points, I could have just woken up and been like, hey, it's not worth it. I'm too lazy. I don't want to. It's hard to get up and record. Or when you were in Lima, we can't figure out a time to record. Like, there are so many barriers, even resistance,
Yeah.
to doing this. But we didn't stop.
We did it.
And that just has made me so confident in this that, yeah, I see the analytics and they waver, but I don't care. You know, when I first started this, I thought 5 people would maybe listen to the whole first season. We have people in Europe and Australia and Vietnam and like,
oh, it's insane.
it's just, I did not expect this. And
I think that was the most shocking thing, was when you told me that there are people in other countries listening to what we say.
And that's just on Spotify analytics. I haven't looked at YouTube in quite some time. Apple has a few other countries. They have Finland and a lot of people from Germany. And like, there's a part of me that's like, okay,
Like how?
you know? But it's so cool. Like, it's such a big gift because, you know, I was sitting here and went into this with the mentality to create it even when no one listens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now that people are, it's like, wow, okay, so people relate with this. People feel something with this. And that's what I want it to be. I want it to be a conversation where people can feel like they're a part of this conversation. I don't want it to feel like a radio talk show host that we're like, all right, now we're on our 11 o'clock section where we're going to be talking about this and this and this. And yeah, that might be the way you're supposed to do it for growth, but I don't care.
I've had multiple people tell me that they feel like they're a part of the conversation. They feel like they're just like sitting here with us, listening, taking it in.
Yeah. And
that is so cool to me.
It's probably the biggest compliment.
Yeah, it really is.
I've also been told our voices are quite soothing, so I've
been told that
as well. It took a while to get used to my own voice.
It's weird hearing your voice in your head.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, it's given me this confidence.
Yeah.
To just keep going. And yeah, like when I had my wisdom teeth, it was like, I can't record this week. And part of me wanted to like tear myself down. Like, dude, you got to record. This is yours. And I stopped for a moment and went, why am I having those thoughts? I don't have to record.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Like, if I'm recording just for the sake to record, that's against everything I started this for. Like, we get to create. Yes, we have a schedule because it helps us stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
But so what if I missed a week or 2 weeks because Thanksgiving and whatnot? You know, that's okay. life changes. And for me to get through that and still sit here and be like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's huge. Normally, I got it. Like, I would have felt so bad about myself if I didn't do that, or, overanalyzed, over aware of who I was. Like, what if people think I'm a failure because I didn't put one out this week, or I wasn't? Didn't impact me. And I think that's because of this, of season 1. So a lot of
Shout out season 1.
A lot of cool changes came from season 1. So,
I mean, we have grown a lot in so many aspects, especially like with the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You look at episode 1 to episode 10 right now, because 11's not out yet. So many differences with the way we set up cameras, the fact that we don't have 3 camera views anymore.
And it's very choppy and cuts.
Yeah,
because the camera
cuts.
work.
Yeah,
and
like I think that keeps people engaged when it cuts like that. Because they're not just like staring at the same
the one
picture,
one main shot with 3 people.
Yeah. I think we've come such a long way.
A lot of growing pains.
Yeah, a lot of growing pains.
Which I think I'll touch on this more on what Project Unaware means to us, but I do want to say it now just quickly is like that's what we're going for, right? A lot of people don't do things because they're not quite sure how it's going to turn out, or they don't know everything. We said this in episode 1.
We don't know.
We had no idea what we were doing. And there are a lot of things that we still want to do and change and tweak and fine tune and grow. And that's with time, and that's exciting, right? Like,
I know.
If we had done everything perfectly this season, what could we change?
Where are we going to go?
And that's not humanity. That's not how our brains work. That's just not how. No one's superheroes. And it gets me so fired up. That's like, where can we go with this?
So many places.
Wherever we want to.
Wherever we want.
That is so cool. And so if you're sitting at home and there's that thing you want to do it, you've dreamed of trying this new task, playing the piano, whatever the heck it is, do it. Simple as that. You can figure out the rest later. Yes, there will be growing pains, like Paul's talking about from episode 1 to now. Who cares? We're getting better.
I think it's just really cool to look back and see what we went through.
And that's how it always happens. And yet we still talk ourselves out of doing things because we're scared of how good we will be. That's so ironic. Even though we know every single time we get better. And that's a win. So,
it just kind of goes back to like failure.
Well, yeah, how people fear it.
Yeah, fear of failure.
Which I think goes also a lot into resistance. Yeah. And so that's actually what season 2 is going to be kind of talking about. So there's going to be a main theme. We're going to test this one out, everyone. So, maybe it won't work. That's okay. But the idea here, Paul, is resistance, right? So I've kind of dropped that word a few times in this conversation already.
You have, I noticed that.
With failure or like things holding us back. A lot of it can be summed up to the word resistance.
Like the Star Wars group, the Resistance.
Yes. The carbon copy of the Empire, but less cool. No, wait, the Rebels, but less cool.
Come on.
My bad. I was thinking of the First Order.
No.
Yeah, well, still the Resistance is a carbon copy of the Rebels, but less cool.
Yep.
Not that resistance. The force that holds you back from things without you even knowing.
Yeah.
So I've been fortunate enough to read quite a few books, and one of them has been touching on the topic of resistance a lot and how it holds you back without even you knowing it holds you back. right? That is the single force that stops you from getting out of bed and getting a ticket and flying to New Zealand or Switzerland, or getting out of bed and getting on your laptop and starting a YouTube channel about disc golf. Like,
I feel called out right there.
I'm just
I know, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It can be minimal and it can be extreme. And yet people don't ever realize that's what's holding them back. Not themselves, not their excuses, plays a part, but resistance overall is what holds people back. And so for season 2, each episode is going to touch on that in a different way. And we're going to build all the way up to the season finale where, we'll talk about how the ideology of unaware can help combat that. And so I think it's going to be really cool because it's going to build this story, and it's almost going to be like this documentary or TV series or something where we just talk about every angle of resistance. Good, bad, how to do it.
Attack the resistance.
What are we, the first order? And just go from there. And I think it's going to be really cool to build this consistent story.
Yeah.
It's not even a story because it's real. So,
I like it.
The season of resistance. And as of now, as of recording, we plan on launching this in February. So we're going to kind of look back to the month of December and, figure out where we want to tweak some things, and then probably start recording in January and get things out in February.
We'll be back in February.
Yeah, the Unaware Podcast is here to stay.
Yeah, we are. No resistance here.
There is, but we fight it.
Yeah.
But there's no resistance in my heart.
So when you were talking about that,
yeah,
just a thought came to my mind about resistance.
Mm-hmm. Besides the Star Wars one?
It's always there.
Yeah.
It's all about how you combat it. And we're going to talk about that.
We are. I mean, even in the physical form, right? Like, to move your leg has resistance. Now, that's kind of going off topic, but if you want to think about the metaphor of it, there's always resistance around you, but you have to move through it anyway to get to where you want to go.
Yeah, I like that.
So, yeah, stay tuned. If that's something you think applies to your life, just that quick little touch on resistance, get ready for season 2. I think
it's going to be a doozy.
A lot to learn and a lot of takeaways and a lot of growth from me and you, Paul.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we're going to learn a lot from season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was telling my buddy Ryan that each episode that we recorded this year, I've learned something. I've learned something about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned something about being unaware. I've learned something about you, society as a whole.
Yeah.
I learn something every time we record, and I'm the one talking. So I'm sure everyone else is learning as well.
Mm-hmm. Just because we're talking doesn't mean we're good at it.
I know. It's just so cool to think that people are learning. People are learning new stuff every time they tune into our show.
Yeah, I agree. That just spawned a thought. Fortunately in my life, I've been able to go unaware quite a bit. There's a future thing happening that if you listen to episode 10, it was also edited out. We'll talk about that in season 2. And I've been fortunate enough to do things like that. But something that just spawned after what you're talking about is what I think is the coolest thing about going unaware is that it feels like the first time every time. Like when you're trying something new, when you are going to walk up to a stranger and try and make friends or chasing your dream or going to this new location, you always have that awe feeling. Every time. Like when I went to Seattle, butterflies. Like I was like a child in a candy shop. When I got to backpack out west, when I go skydiving, rock climbing, whatever it is, there's always that bliss. Just the pure joy because I am, in my terminology, going unaware. And that's so cool, right? Like how many other things do you do that you get that feeling?
Probably not a lot.
Not a lot. So I think we talked about benefits of going unaware. We didn't mention that one.
No, we did not.
But that's partly what it means to me.
I know exactly what you're talking about too. Like when you try something new, you get this feeling in your stomach, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it.
Yeah, dude,
I'm doing it.
Giddy, you know?
Yeah, you get like all excited and like full of joy, and oh, dude,
yeah,
it's one of the best feelings.
I think we hide it more as adults, but think to a kid when they like get a new toy or roll their play bowling ball and get a strike, they freak out and lose their mind out of excitement. That's still in us.
Yeah,
we just
Stay
like
kid.
I just sit there and I'm like, yeah, like inside my head.
Yeah.
And
that's a good point.
Like I said, feeling. When you go unaware, it happens every time.
I remember the first time I went to Colorado, I had that feeling because I was like, I've never seen mountains before.
Yeah.
Besides like the Smokies, but like
the more the Rocky style pointed edges,
pointed, snowy, snow-capped mountains. Oh my gosh, it was breathtaking.
Yeah.
And then we took a hike and we went to this really beautiful lake, and the mountains were in the background. And oh my gosh, I was beautiful. Like, I cannot believe that I am here right now. It was one of the best experiences of my life. So cool.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
And we just went. We had no idea what we were doing.
We did go again.
And loved it.
Yeah.
I just love those memories, nostalgia. You said that in the beginning, though.
Nostalgia.
So, yeah, I mean, all that to say is season 2, I think, I know it's going to be good. It's going to push us. It's going to push the audience. It's going to shape the way and pave the way for Unaware in the future, too. Because resistance
right now
is the enemy.
We are unaware of what we're going to talk about.
Zinger!
I had to get one in
the
finale.
Finale.
Had to.
Man, it's the finale, dude.
Dude, I know.
That's crazy.
I cannot believe it.
But we're here. So I want to shift a little bit and go into what Project Unaware means to us. Now, where this question spawns from is when Justin was in town. We were at the rock climbing thing, and he was asking me about it. And I was like, I don't think I've asked Paul what Project Unaware actually means to him. And I don't think I've told you quite exactly what it means to me. So that begs the question, what does Project Unaware mean to me? Well, let me tell you, Paul. I should have thought about this answer before saying that, because now I'm like, well, what does it mean to me? I think at the end of the day, it sums up a lot of what we just talked about. Is, there's the proud feeling I get from finishing season 1. There is the idea that it's just a project to help people. I get that feeling whenever I go unaware. But ultimately, we have this word unaware on our chest. And it is, every time I think of it now, all these feelings and all these emotions and the memories and this podcast and the blog is now associated with that word unaware. I love saying it like that. Not just unaware, it's unaware.
Yeah.
And it just has so much meaning. Granted, it's one of the first things I've launched and built. It is a brand. It's essentially a company the way I run it. And it's something we did together too.
Yeah.
With this podcast and moving for it. So there's just all these emotions tied to it now. And so I asked myself, what does it mean? And there's a part of me that wants to say everything.
It is everything.
It means everything. But I mean, that's too broad. And I want to do it service. So, I really think Project Unaware is just this area that I can have fun. I can be myself. I can create. And ultimately, I can help other people. It is purely a form to sit here and try and help people think about the way they're living life. And if they want to change it, help them change it. To discuss this weird thing we call life on this weird thing we call planet Earth, and all the fun that's fit in the years you live, you know, and we get to talk about it, and I get to talk about experiences I've had in my own life on here, and hear yours, and it's just this cool area that there are no rules, and I don't think
There are no rules.
anything else like that in my life. Like, Project Unaware is a space where we can just create and have fun. And it has become one of my favorite things because of that. And something I don't want to let go of, something I want to keep doing, something I wake up and I'm like, all right, what am I going to do today? Like, what can I learn? What can I try? What can I chase? You know, and it's now this fire under my butt pushing me to go farther and learn more and help so many people. And yeah, so that's what it means to me for the most part.
That was beautiful.
It's pretty mumble jumbled, but thank you, Paul.
That was so beautiful.
What about you, man?
Well,
I'm interested to hear your take because you came in when I already had it, like the brainchild of
yeah,
Project
that's what I was about to say.
Unaware.
Like, so Project Unaware is your brainchild.
That's a weird term, but I keep
I was
saying it.
literally gonna say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you told me about it, I was blown away at how great of an idea that was. One, just I know you and I know you want to help people. So this is the perfect outlet to do that because you can be yourself, you can create, you can make a podcast. You can the doors, there are infinite doors on the route that Project Unaware can go. And right now we're only tip of the iceberg. But Project Unaware to me, well, one, it's an opportunity to learn, have a conversation with one of my best friends about things that people just don't think about on a normal basis. And yeah, sometimes I don't really know what I'm saying, it feels like, but in the end, we get there. We get around to the end of the podcast and it all ties together somehow. And I think what really brings me joy, and I kind of anyway, what really brings me joy is knowing that people are listening. People are reading the blogs. They're taking our words and finding some sort of meaning to it.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking about their life. I was talking to Ryan today, like I said, and he said that he would stop the podcast and just think about what we've been talking about.
Wow.
And just kind of ponder what's how his life fits in there. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, it is.
You just
awesome.
pause in the middle of a podcast and think about the words that we have been saying. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. I love the idea that even if it's just one person right now, we're making some sort of impact. And I am so excited for the future, where we can go, how many people we can impact, just all the crazy things we can do. And being more unaware than I used to be, I already got the wheels turning in my head for things I can do, like trips I can go on, new hobbies I can start. I don't know, man. Project Unaware has changed my life because I didn't have a lot going. I got a job.
Mm-hmm.
I play disc golf. Yeah, that's cool. It is cool.
It is cool.
It is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But to do something with so much meaning behind it, I never thought that I would be a part of that. And I just want to thank you, Andrew, for like bringing me along on this journey. Like it's been crazy already, man. Like 11 episodes. Our voices are out there for the whole world to hear. For forever, as long as they're up.
As long as I pay the bill.
As long as we pay the bills
of our hosting segment.
But I mean, that's crazy to think about. Like, people I don't know are listening to what we're saying. Now, whether it makes sense to them or not is a whole nother story. But that is bonkers. Like, people from other countries, that still blows my mind, man. People from other countries. And I know we say it every time. We want you to reach out to us. Mm-hmm. Tell us what's going on. How have you been unaware? What about one of our episodes inspired you or made you think? We want to hear that stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, like we don't just make this podcast just to do it. Like we want to inspire people, and we want to hear like what's going on, you know? Then we got the tip jar, man. Like
we haven't.
This
really
jar was
$10.
Like I want it to go to good use. Please, if you have any suggestions.
There is money in there because my brother made it funny, but it's not actually a monetary tip. It was on the top of the jar. Yeah,
this is just a joke. Like, we don't accept money. I mean, we will. This is for like tips, as in like advice, suggestions, questions, new ideas. All that isn't going to go in the tip jar. Mm-hmm. But besides the $1 bill, there's nothing in here.
Well, most of the time when people reach out, it's always like, I loved this. They never, I guess I never ask them to ask. We also haven't pitched the tip jar since.
Yeah, we haven't.
Episode 2.
We haven't pitched the tip jar. We could also just like, if people reach out to us, just put it in the tip jar.
That's true.
So that, I don't know. But
put their names
that's my brainchild right there.
Yeah. The tip jar.
But I don't know. It's been a great journey, and like, I am so excited for the future. Season 2,
mm-hmm.
It's going to be filled with all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm. You don't even know.
We're so unaware of what's going to be in season 2. Man. It's not even funny.
We have all these grand ideas, but at the end of the day, it's like, let's see where it goes. Will it happen?
Will it not?
Like, it's another adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Every day is an adventure with this project.
Yeah. And you got me speechless over here. I don't even know what to say. Dang.
I don't even know what I just said. I blocked that one.
That was beautiful, Paul. You know, one of the coolest things about this, also the reason why I wanted to have guests on here to talk about their passions, is because it gets passion and emotion into the voice.
Mm-hmm.
And what you just said had real written all over it. Like, I heard what you said, but I felt what you said, you know? And that was cool. And that's just going to keep happening. And that is what happens normally. But like, with that idea of just it being an adventure every day and growing and changing and this just being so real, it's so cool. Yeah. Got me speechless now. My brain's like, I don't know what to say. I was just enjoying that moment. It's I kind of forget this thought, but halfway through it, I thought about this idea that, like, it really is almost this chaos that's ultimately controlled.
That felt very chaotic when I was talking.
Not even that, just like the idea of going unaware. Like, you go into this chaos, and then you end up controlling it and figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this fun chaos. Like, it just is. And that's what this has been for us. And so just this project, it's just so fun. And like Paul said, I'll just double down on it, is we've had a lot of people reach out to us with like feedback and positive energy and uplifting us, but even if it's just like hey man, I had a bad day, or hey, like this is going on. I don't need a response, but I just need to tell someone, do it. Like,
our DMs are open.
Yeah. Give social media a good use for once.
Yeah. There's too much negativity around social media.
We're trying to bring a little good just to the day, and impacting people. And I'm glad you said that, because I was going to bring that up, because I was like, we need to impact people. Like, that just makes me so happy. And when what Ryan said, that just boggles my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. Well, my brain is now just cleared. So, we might as well move on to the next segment, because I think we said it there. There is no more that needs to be said.
Yeah.
Project Unaware is fun. Anyway, we've talked a lot about Project Unaware in season 1, especially with the podcast and even the blog in season 2. So, that leads us to the question of like, what else can we do? Where can we go? What can we build and create? And, we're starting to get this a little bit of a community, right? Of people who believe in it. And, so we're working on something, Paul.
Yeah, we are.
If you have the video playing, you will notice that we are both wearing these hoodies. They are a tie-dye champion hoodie with the word Unaware in our font and our logo, typeface, or whatever you want to call it, embroidered on it. What's your review of it, Paul?
Bro, this is...
this isn't a sales pitch. This is an honest review.
This is like one of my favorite hoodies I've ever owned. Not only is it just dope, but it's super comfortable.
Dude, it's so warm.
And so warm. Like, if I was to go outside in like freezing cold right now, I'd be fine.
Yeah. It insulates.
It's very
like
thick.
Crazy. Mm-hmm.
It's thick.
Comforting.
Feels good. It fits really nice.
And that's hard
I'm
for...
a tall guy.
Yeah.
I'm 6'6". I have a 7'1" wingspan. This hoodie...
Well, it has the extended sleeve that like
this
rolls
hoodie
up.
fits
So you keep it straight, but I roll it.
You're supposed to roll it?
I do. You don't have to, because it's all about where you want your sleeve to end.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, this hoodie fits me. That never happens.
Yeah. And originally I was just I had the idea, to create clothes, and I tried this first, and I've worn it like you all the time because I love it. I got me the black. I created a black one. Paul has like a purpley dark blue.
Purpley blue.
Yeah, I guess I'd say dark blue maybe. With tie-dye, it's so hard to tell because it has the whites, it has the purple, it has dark blue.
I would say it's more blue than purple.
Yeah. The lighter parts is purple to me. Anyway, I digress.
Remember, I'm colorblind.
Yeah, we have a lot of color conversations. Anyway, so we've actually decided to, since wearing these out, a lot of people have seen them and are like, that's awesome. Like, I would get that. I think it'd just be something so cool for the Unaware brand to just expand. Expand.
Expand on the...
And so currently it is not out yet. It'll probably be out around the New Year's time, January time. But we're going to throw a couple pieces of clothing on there. They're pretty much going to be sold at cost just to kind of gauge an interest, an idea. There's probably going to be 2 hoodies on there, these one and then a smaller one because this is a champion tie-dye. This thing's going to last forever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not worried about this hoodie. Like, it is one of the highest quality hoodies I own. And I can't, like,
Dude, Champion
I was so
hoodies.
impressed with when I got it because I was like, oh, you know, it's a custom that I'm making. Like, I designed it. What if they get it wrong? No. Like, this thing is built well. My brother keeps like, I want one. I want one. I want one. I want one. Because I've had it for what, like a month and a half now?
Yeah.
Maybe 2 months even.
Yeah. Month.
When was Leah's birthday?
Mid-October.
Because I gave you yours then, and I had it the week before.
Yeah.
So
Month and a half.
month and a half. I've worn it at least twice a week.
Yeah.
So anyway, not to beat around the bush anymore, we are opening up Unaware Apparel. And it's not really meant to be this merch. It's not, I mean, at the end of the day, it is merchandise and it is our brand. But we want it to have a meaning. We don't want it just to generate sales for us to make money. Honestly, the little money it will make is going to go right back into Project Unaware because we have not made money yet. And I pay for a lot of things. And so, you know, once this is up, you'll see it on our social medias. You'll see it on our personal social medias.
You'll see us wearing them.
You'll see us. Well, I mean, so many people already have. And they're like, that's a cool hoodie. What's that mean? Like my buddies out in Seattle were like, yo, that's dope. I wore it to Seattle, of course.
Of course.
I was going unaware,
Yeah.
you know? But Unaware Apparel, you know, it's going to be from us to you. It's going to be real. It's going to be raw, just like everything else we do. I can't stress enough that this isn't just like a merchandise thing from like some vlogger on YouTube. Like that is not what I want to go for. I want it to be something that like you can wear and it can resonate with how you're feeling and it can help you chase dreams and hopefully it looks good. Hopefully the styles are cool.
Oh, it's going to look good no matter what, my guy.
You know, you know, I'm still trying to mess around with fonts and everything. So just like everything else, there's going to be growing pains. There's going to be new stuff. But, I mean, it gives me an excuse to use Photoshop. So that's fun. Anything you want to say about it, Paul?
Yeah. This is like such a great hoodie. I'm so excited to be able to launch this apparel store thing that we got going on. So like you said, so many people have come up to us when we're wearing these and it's like, oh, that's so cool. I want one. When can I get one? And like right now, I gotta tell them like there's literally only 2 in existence now.
I think I might make just a slight addition. So these are the first additions. But
these are the only
only 2 of their kind, but there will be something very, very, very similar.
Yeah.
So there's also going to be a couple T-shirts, maybe a couple hats and hoodies, and we'll see where we can go. You know, I have to make sure the quality's good. I'm trying to make it as eco-friendly as possible. Trying to go carbon neutral, honestly, but that's hard to do with the costs. But
I got an idea when we were talking about
what's up? Tell me the idea.
Okay.
Tell me the idea.
What if with each order we send a not personalized, just like a letter, like individually written, thanking them.
Handwritten? My handwriting.
Handwritten.
Good luck.
Maybe not handwriting. Maybe not handwritten, but like.
Yeah. I'm here
Like
for it. At least a note.
An individualized letter.
We can't tell them this. It'll be surprised when they get it in the mail, Paul.
I know you can cut this out, but like.
No, I was kidding. I'm going to keep it in. Unless we don't end up doing it, then that will look real bad. But no, I mean, I want to, like, for that, especially with this.
It's just an idea. Like, maybe.
Because this hoodie that we have on, it's only going to be sold that first month or 2. Like, it will be a first edition, and then it will be gone. And so, at least with our bandwidth, I think we can write notes for these.
Yeah.
Just because this is the start, right? And we'll see. We'll have to see where it goes.
Like, I don't even know what kind of notes. Like, it could be like inspiring. Like, hey, like, it could be anything.
We'll figure it out.
Just like a little touch of individualism, you know?
Yeah. You know, personalization. Make them.
Personalization.
Yeah, we'll see their names. That's what I'll have to go after.
We will see your name, and we
Um,
will
we'll ship it
we'll
right
make
to
it
you.
special.
Yeah. But yeah, so just, keep your attention out on that, and eventually maybe you can pick up the first edition hood yourself.
Second edition.
Well, we're calling it the first edition.
First edition.
We have
This
the
was a
prototype,
Yeah, these were
honestly.
prototypes.
It was a risk. I was like, I don't know what this is going to look like. Does tie-dye work? I don't know.
Worth every penny.
So
Worth every penny.
yeah, there's a penny. Look at that. So yeah, just check that out. Keep that on your radar. You'll see it when it gets closer to launch. But we're working on some
excited.
big things. Working on season 2. Working on the blog. I'm working on something that you will hear about in season 2. Can I tease that enough? No.
Paul's working on something
Paul's working on
that
something.
he hasn't even told Andrew about.
What? What is it?
I can't tell you.
What? Bro. Come on. All right, I'll have to take that answer, except after this. I'm going to... I guess we'll have to wait to find out in season 2, folks.
Yep.
All right, well, I just want to end with this. It has been such a blast. Like, everyone listening, everyone who has listened, just from the bottom of my heart, probably Paul's heart too, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
The support, the listeners, the impact, just, I went into it not needing it. And I've said that a few times. But it sure helps. And it's exciting. And it just is, it's just so fun to see this impact, dude. Like, it's meaningful. It's value. Like, we're adding value. I love that. So much. It just gets me so excited, dude.
I mean, like I said earlier, I'm so excited for the future of this podcast, Project Unaware, our friendship. Oh, dude, it's going to be...
all the things, man.
All
the things. And you at home or in the car or wherever you listen to this, our analytics show that you listen to it in the morning and around 5 p.m. So that means before you go to work and after you get off work, probably is what that means. If you're listening to this right now, get excited. Go do something crazy, something you love doing. Like, just go do it. Can't do it enough. If you want to go rock climbing and you're in Cincinnati, let me know. If you want to jump out of planes in the Ohio area, let me know. If you want me to fly out to you, heck, I'll probably do it. Paul can come too.
Yeah.
Strangers are just friends we haven't met yet, man. I'm under the firm belief of that.
I believe that.
So
I believe that any day.
You guys in Germany and Finland and Australia.
We want to be your friends.
We want to be your friends. Like,
please just reach out to us.
I love you guys.
We love meeting new people.
Anyway, back to a little bit of the serious part is just check out projectunaware.com. I know it's going to be a couple weeks before we post again. We're probably going to go a little quiet, and it's not because we don't hate you guys. That's not because we hate you guys. It's because we are looking back on it, trying to figure out how to make it better.
We're working on some stuff.
Cooking,
We're cooking in the kitchen.
So, all that being said, we're happy to be here. We're not going to stop, and we're only going to get better. So just,
we aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, you can't get rid of us. Any final thoughts for to end and wrap up season 1, Paul?
Yeah, just honestly, once again, thank you so much for tuning in when you can, at work, when you're bored, in the car. You just randomly found this on Instagram or Spotify, gave it as a suggestion. Just thank you. Thank you for just taking time, because you only have a certain amount of time, right?
Like, time is valuable.
And also, it's mind-blowing that people will take time out of their lives and listen to what we say. It's crazy. I appreciate it. I know Andrew does. We love you guys so much. Even when times are hard and we don't want to do this, which is sometimes, where you guys are always on our minds. Podcasts on our mind. Project Unaware is on our minds. it's a constant thing now. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's always in the
We
mind.
love you guys.
Yeah. It's just so cool because it's always been in my heart, but I've never had something to push it all into. Like I've never had what's the right
Outlet.
word? An outlet for it or something to, that's what that feeling is. Now I do. And now you guys do too. So we're not stopping. We're only moving forward. My buddy Tyler Evans said it right. Project Unaware to the moon.
Yes, he did. He did say that.
But honestly, we appreciate all you guys. And just because we're not uploading new episodes doesn't mean you can go back and listen to some of the old ones and, listen to them, get a better takeaway, go read the blogs, check out
Watch
Project
the
Unaware.
YouTube video. See
We're
what we
not-
look like.
Yeah. Just not watch those actually, surprisingly. We're not gone. So we're just taking a little break to refuel and
My birthday's coming up.
happy early birthday. My birthday
Andrew's
just
birthday
happened
was like
3
3
days
days ago.
Yeah, I'm now 23.
He's now 23.
Dropping my age. I'm old. I'm wise. But yeah. All right. Well, I guess the last thing I want to say is we love you.
We do love you.
Feel free to message us, contact us any way, shape, form.
If you want to be a guest,
Let
hit
us
us
know.
up.
But if you need anything in the meantime when we're not posting, we're here.
Yeah.
Well, without further ado, Paul, this has been season 1 of the Unaware Podcast. Heck yeah.
We
ladies
did
and
it.
gentlemen. We did it. Somehow.
Somehow.
And couldn't be more proud. I'm thankful that you're here with me. And
Happy to be here.
I guess there's only one more thing to say.
Yeah.
Slays.
Please.